in coming up as well here on the show. But last night during the game, was watching it on TV, and Mark Jones and Corey Alexander were on the call. And much like they do in Summer League, you maybe get a player that comes through, a coach or GM. Scott Perry's been on now twice on these Kings games. He joined the guys during the game. There were a couple of different cuts that I thought were interesting here for sure that Scott Perry shared with Mark Jones that I think are worth talking about. Chris, go ahead and fire the first one, if you will.
Hey, Devin Carter just knocked down a logo three. Let's talk about his development at the point guard position, which is something, admittedly, really something new for him, Scott.
There's no question about it. Obviously, this is my first opportunity to be around Devin. Coming in, watched him on film when I was taking the job. He can defend the position. He has good length. He moves his feet. That's his comfort zone right now. He is evolving as a guy, being able to play that position on the offensive end. He had a big game here the other night. We had 30 points where he shot the ball well, which hadn't been his strength to this point. The key for him, just like so many other players, is how's he going to dedicate himself to get better each and every day. And that's been my challenge to him when I talk with him. That's going to be very important. You got to work on your game. You got to get in elite shape so that you can do the things that you're capable of doing on the court right now.
All right, there were some comments from Scott Perry about Devin Carter. I think Devin Carter is the intriguing one of the intriguing pieces. Obviously, our eyes are on Maxime Reynaud and Nick Clifford as new players, new additions, new draft picks to the Kings. And those two guys have been phenomenal, and we'll have more on them coming up. But Devin Carter, by the game, has gotten better. And I still think as he has gotten better, we're seeing him still a little bit in that hybrid role. I still think he best is suited as a combo guard where he's not the traditional, hey, inbound the ball, bring the ball up as a point guard, get the offense facilitated type of guy. But it's a little bit like Malik in a way where there's some playmaking in there, but not as much as Malik and not in a truly traditional point guard way. I don't think that's his best position. Now, I agree 100% with what Scott Perry said, that to me, he is an NBA defender. I don't think there's any doubt that with his arm, with his length, the physical nature he's very physical with his body and his hands, defensively, that he can guard ones and twos and maybe threes if need be. I mean, he can guard bigger people than him and be okay. So we're all naturally going to look at offense more. That's that, we could put stats on that easier and say, oh, this player scored 18 points and was efficient and hit threes and made free throws and distributed assists. To me, Carter can still have an impact on a game. And the nice product here that we've seen over the last two games is he's been very efficient offensively. He had 32 games ago. Last night, let me see his final number, 7 of 12, 17 points. His plus minus, for whatever it's worth to you out there, was plus 23. But 3 assists, 2 boards, 3 steals, 1 block, a turnover, made an incredible play at the end of the half. I'm Devin Carter, and I think it was Zebra, one of our regulars on the chat, that said earlier, he is growing on me like a wart, which is funny. He did also, very noticeably during the game, continue to rub that shoulder. That looks like it's still a bit problematic. He was asked about that after the last game and saying, yeah, it's just something that's been bothering me again. He kind of re-aggravated it. It doesn't look like it's more than that. It doesn't look like it, but I don't know. So it is something that I think Scott Perry is watching. I think other teams around the league are watching. He had been kind of placed in some trade rumors potentially too. Look, the Kings have a lot of people that can play backcourt positions. The intriguing thing about the culture they're trying to build and what we're seeing them play in Summer League, there's a lot of defense that's being originated from this team. And kind of the proven veteran, historically good players that they have on this team in the sense of like Levine and DeRozan, like they are all-stars, great scorers. They are not great defenders. You look at Keon Ellis and Devin Carter and what Neat Clifford and some of these other younger guys are doing that don't have their resume, but they're giving it to you on the defensive end. Granted, it's summer league, but Carter did that in the regular season too, and Keon has done that against some of the best players in the league. It's going to make the minute distribution very interesting if that's the group that starts the year. All right, let's get one more comment here I also thought was interesting from Scott Perry yesterday in his conversation with the guys, kind of talking a little bit about the culture that they're working on.
Volunteers, not hostages. How's that recruitment and that process and that culture building coming along so far?
It's in a good place right now, guys. And that's important. You got to know this. You need total buy-in to have a chance to be successful. So we don't want anybody that doesn't want to be there. And it's nothing personal. So what you're seeing out here in Summer League, you're seeing a whole bunch of volunteers right now, and I love watching it. These guys are playing hard. They're playing together. And one thing we told them before the Summer League started was that this is an opportunity, first opportunity to start establishing our identity, what a Sacramento Kings team is going to look like and play like.
Well, and that identity has to start. I mean, of course, Doug Christie was a great defender. As your head coach, we know that identity will start on that side. And you've seen that here with the Summer League team, correct?
Oh, absolutely. We're picking up 94 feet. I love to see that. And look, if we look further ahead, we just watched the finals where you saw two organizations that really extended the floor defensively. And I think that's the way the game is going, and you're going to need a lot of depth. You're going to need athletes who can defend and create offensive opportunities for your team. So I'm excited about it. That's the way I grew up playing basketball. My years in the league when we were most successful with Detroit Pistons, that's how we played. We played tough, we defended, and we shared the basketball, shared the game. So we want to bring that here to Sacramento.
Scott, one of those guys that's checked a lot of those variable boxes that you mentioned a moment ago, creating opportunities for teammates and for themselves. Nick Clifford has been brilliant here at times early in Summer League, and his versatility seems to be something of a huge asset. I mean, you can plug him a lot of places.
There's no question about it. We've been talking about it back and forth, watching him from the first practice throughout Summer League. This guy's going to be able to give us some time, I think, at all three perimeter positions. And what I really like with him at the guard positions is that he brings big size there. And, the league is going that way. If you can have size at that one or two position, at that point, or that off-guard position, that can really help your ball club. He really passes the ball extremely well with either hand. He can defend all three of those perimeter positions.
So those were some of the comments that we heard from Scott Perry talking about the culture building, talking a little bit there at the end about Nick Clifford. And like when you try to read between the lines of what I believe Doug Christie would want, what I believe that Scott Perry wants, again, he's talking about defensive players that could create some offensive opportunities. That's more of what we're seeing from these young guys and these Summer League guys. And the question is, what do you then do with, again, you need guys in the league that can score with Levine, DeRozan, Malik Monk. I mean, Monk's probably a better defender than the other two, but the other two, and part of the other two, more so DeRozan, I would say, than Levine. DeRozan's put in a tough spot where he's having to guard threes and fours a lot, and he's undersized at that, and he might do better with stronger players than quicker players. I don't know. That's probably up for debate. Levine's the one that's been a tricky one for me because someone that's that athletic, quick twitch, spurts, I just feel like there needs to be more of a attention and a focus and a desire to play defense. Where you watch these guys right now that are basically competing for their opportunities, like Mason Jones, if you could bottle up how hard he plays, the relentlessness that he is like, look, I don't know how much longer I've got in this NBA at all. There's nothing guaranteed for me. There's something there's a charm to that when people don't lose that and play that hard all the time. Like in Vegas, he's playing that hard. And it's that motor that, it's hard to do for 82 games, but when you are not comfortable, you don't have a guaranteed contract, when you're trying, sometimes it's easier to do the chasing than to be chased. When someone's like, I'm the starting center and someone's trying to get my position, well, I'm the starting center. I'm the starting point guard, whatever it is. But when someone's trying to get that job, that's the person that's working really, really hard. And I think they got a lot of guys like that right now. And so trying to read what the marriage between Scott Perry and Doug Christie of what they are looking for in a player, and it seems like they got a lot of the similar traits that they want as far as super aggressive defensive players that'll help contribute offensively. It's more of the guys that they added in the summer, I would say, with the exception of Keon Ellis and Carter that were already there, than the guys that are already existing on the team. Keegan Murray is a nice two-way player, too. I don't want to forget Keegan in that. But some of these other guys that have been around a while, like DeRozan, Sabonis, Monk, and Levine, certainly have to work on their defense to get this team to where they want to be defensive. We got more on the Kings coming up. Again, coming up at the top of the hour, Maxime Reynaud. Really fun conversation. I think you're going to enjoy that. Next, tonight is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Last night, quite a moment, a few moments in the home run derby. What we saw